So the next one is Hypnose by Lancome. It's an older bottle. Obviously the vanilla has discolored. It still smells legit. It's still fine. I'm actually about to do a review on this, so I'm not telling you what I'm doing with it yet, otherwise it might give away the outcome of the review. So it's staying on the shelf. The next one is just a little 30ml bottle of Ralph Lauren Woman. This is sort of a bubblegummy tuberose with a prominent pear note in the top. It is a very pleasant fragrance. I decluttered in my last declutter video the big 50ml bottle of this. This is the one that I'm keeping for myself. The next one is an eau de toilette from L'Occitane. It's called Verveine, I think, which is the verbena fragrance that they have. This was gifted to me by a friend of mine who has since passed away. She bought this for me because we used to exercise together a couple of times a week, and she always wore this one after the shower, and I liked it so much that year for Christmas she bought me a little pack with lots of fragrance products from this company with, you know, this particular fragrance in it. And so I haven't actually worn it very much in the last few years. I don't want to give it away or throw it away because of the sentimental value, but I think the best value I can give this is to actually wear it. So I'm going to put this to the front of my rotation, but I'm definitely keeping it. And this is the infamous bottle of Le Fleur that I've spoken about in previous videos. That was my very first fragrance that I had a full bottle of as a child. This is not the bottle, but it's the fragrance. And even though I'm not wearing it, I don't want to give it away because I like smelling it every once in a while. So that's staying. Okay, so over here we have some Initio fragrances. They are staying for the time being. I do like all of them. Interestingly, the fragrance that got me into Initio was Absolute Aphrodisiac, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe I don't want that one anymore. I really, really love it. And I went through quite a few decants of it before I bought a full bottle, but I just don't seem to be, I thought I would wear it a lot more this winter, and I barely wore it at all. But I'm not willing to get rid of these just yet because well, in fact, I don't want to get rid of these at all, but these were definitely an investment for me. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I love them enough to bother keeping them or whether I should sell them. But for the moment, I do love them, and I'm really enjoying Side Effect, and Psychedelic Love is a really good one for warmer months. So hopefully I'll get some use out of it this spring, summer. This is Blossom Love by Amouage. Not sure about this one. This one has a prominent Sakura cherry blossom note, but I'm not sure. This is a tester bottle, by the way. It's why it's got the funky lid and not the proper lid that all the other ones have. But I don't know. I don't know about this one. I thought I would really like it. It's just not for me. I think it's just too florally for me. I do have a friend that's interested in this one, so if she wants it, it's all hers. So it's going in the expulsion pile. This is Kai. I've spoken about this before. This is one of my very first niche / indie fragrances. I am definitely keeping this. This is a great summertime fragrance and I love it. And this holds a lot of memories for me, so I'm holding on to it. Over here we have Orchidee Vanille by Van Cleef & Arpels. That's staying. And of course the So Nude by Costume National is not going anywhere. I love, love, love that fragrance. Do I show you the disaster that is the bottom shelf? Yeah, sure, why not? If anything, it might just help some other people to feel better about themselves. If they've got the same problem as me. So yeah, this is a little bit crazy. Over there, so this is the box of fragrances that I decluttered last time. They've just been sitting here waiting for me to post them to I don't know, a Facebook page or something. We have samples. More samples, and like, literally there's just samples just thrown down here because I've been given quite a few samples lately, and I usually just put them in the boxes, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So this is basically, hang on, let me move it back a little bit so you can see the whole thing, hopefully. So this is where I keep pretty much all of my samples except for that bowl of samples that I have that you would have seen on a recent video where I did some sample snippets. That bowl sits in my bedroom so that I try and entice me to wear the samples. But down here is where I keep all of my discovery sets and travel size bottles and samples. So I need to try and make some sense of this. Here I even have 2 bottles of Nikolai perfumes. They're 30 ml bottles, but I don't have any room. I didn't have any room anywhere else, so I needed to put them somewhere. But now that I've made some room on the other shelves, I'll be able to put these up there somewhere, so they can just go up there for now. So this is a Discovery set by 8 & Bob. It's the Unique line, and they all have these really beautiful love stories behind them. I think all of them are dedicated to past love of the perfumer, and her name was Anique or Annika. I'm not sure how you say it. But some of them are really nice. To be honest, none of them were loves for me. I've tried all of them. I wasn't really compelled to buy a full bottle of any of these. They were just a little bit on the sweet side for me. So I may as well gift this on to somebody else. More samples. These are BDK. I've had so many BDK samples come my way, and I've gifted quite a few on as well. But these are 3 that I want to spend a bit more time with. It's Wood Jasmine, Gris Chanel. Actually, I've already tried, had a fairly decent wear of the Gris Chanel. It's very nice, but it didn't blow me away, so I'm probably not going to buy that one. But I am quite keen on trying these 2. The only one that I never seem to get as a sample is the Tuberose Imperial, which I would really like to try. But anyway, we will see how we go. I can just sample them at the local perfumery because they stock them there. So yeah, lots and lots of samples.
More samples, more samples, more samples. Actually, this is, yeah, okay, so more samples.
This is the little pouch that I take with me when I used to travel. Not traveling anywhere at the moment, but this was what I would take instead of packing bottles and bottles of perfume. But I'd usually just try and decant. When I went to Japan on holidays, this is what I took, and I pretty much wore Santal Majuscule the whole time. So it was pointless exercise. But you want to have options, right? These are BDK travel size. I'm going to keep these. I really do like these. This is Bouquet de Hongrie and Pas ce soir. I bought these quite a few months ago and I really enjoy them, so I'm going to keep them. So this box here is all samples. There's some samples down here. This is by Anka Kus, which is an Australian perfume house, indie perfume house, which I need to sample a bit more actually. They've been sitting here for ages and I haven't really given them much time, so I really need to give these a go. I think Therapeutic Fragrances has been reviewing these recently on his channel, and I think the most recent one I saw him review was Absinthe Minded, which is this one here. So anyway, not that you can really see, they all look the same, but that's an Australian house. That's why they're out on top, because I wanted to remind myself to review them and get to them. This is just one of my Luxe Oud perfume oils. It's the Intense Rose. I really like this, so I'm keeping that. I've talked about these before. These are the Atelier Cologne There's Vetiver Fatale in the small. I have the big bottle of that as well. Then there's this one, which I couldn't figure out the name of. If you watched my video that I did on my very first niche fragrances, I didn't know what the name of this one was, but I think this is the Mimosa one, and it has a leather note in it, so it's really nice. It's very expensive though. I'm not replacing that one after all. I thought I was going to buy a big bottle if I figured out what it was, and I'm not going to. It's ridiculously overpriced. And then this one is Grand Neroli, so I love those ones. And then this is just a small travel size of So Nude. I bought that, that came with the big bottle. It was in a gift pack, basically. So these are staying, that's staying. So this is my 4711. Again, this is nostalgic value, but I also wear it. I haven't actually worn this bottle, but I do wear this cologne. It's really lovely, so I'm keeping those. What do we have here? Discovery set for Sana Jardin. I'm still working my way through all of these. I already have Sandalwood Temple, which I've spoken about at length. I love this fragrance a lot. So this is a little discovery set from Swiss Arabian, and there's just a whole heap of little tiny vials of fragrance oils in there. I have to say, I think I've tried most of them. There were a couple I really liked. I think it's called Fez, and it was funny because I used up the little tiny one on here and then realized that when I bought this, they'd actually gifted me a full, well, it's not full, I mean, it's a little, for a perfume oil, it's a full size bottle of the Fez. So that was lucky because that was the one that I liked the most. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is gifting these ones on, because I don't think there's any others in there that I particularly wanted to rush out and buy. Here we have a Cana Barcelona discovery set. I'm sorry, it's not going into focus, and my arm is getting tired trying to constantly reach up and fix it. Was that one? I think that might have been Tardez, that one that's gone, because I've used it up. I need to actually revisit these. I haven't spent a lot of time with the rest of this line, so I'll probably revisit these. So this will stay, and then if I don't find anything within the next few months that really grab my attention, or I might review them, and then I will gift them on. My beautiful Histoire de Parfum discovery set. There is one missing. Which one is that? I don't know. I think I gifted this one to somebody because she wanted to try the one that has the pineapple note. I don't know. I can't remember what that one was. Anyway, I'm still working. I've had this for so long. I've had it for over a year now, and I still have not finished going through it. This is the problem, right? You just keep getting more and more samples and discovery sets. Fortin Manley discovery set. This is another Australian house. I confess, when I bought this discovery set, it was getting this house was getting a lot of hype, and I thought I was going to surely love something. They are very interesting fragrances. At the time, I think I might have been a little bit too green on the whole niche perfumery front to really appreciate them. So I'm not going to get rid of this just yet, because I want to revisit it now that I've had a little bit more time to get my nose accustomed to, you know, the niche world, and just see if there's anything that I want to revisit from here. Here I have two discovery sets from Olfactive Studio. This is the Warm and Sensual, and this is the Fresh and Cool. All of these are great. I'm holding on to these because these are actually, even though they're discovery sets, they are actually decent sized bottles. So I'm keeping them because they're really great for travel, and I love this house. I think they are really underrated. Nobody talks about these guys enough. They are so good, these fragrances. They don't necessarily have the best performance in terms of longevity and projection and stuff, but I just think they're fantastic fragrances, and they smell wonderful. And there's also the other line which has the Chypre shot and vanilla shot and stuff, and I love Chypre shot. I'd love to get a bottle of that, but in any case I'm holding on to these because I do use them when I travel. This is my pride and joy on this shelf. It's a discovery set for Mona de Oreo. I picked this up in a Facebook group a few months ago, and yeah, I'm very happy with that. These are all roller balls though. That's the only downside to this, but I can always transplant them into an atomizer, so that's not a problem. It's pretty easy to get a roller ball out of a bottle. In case if you don't know how to do that, let me know. I can always do a video on that, on how to get perfume out of bottles. I've recently discovered a new trick actually, which has just about saved my life when it comes to decanting. Juliet Has a Gun discovery set. This is going. I don't really gel with the Juliet Has a Gun range. I don't mind and Lady Vengeance is also quite good, but yeah, they're not bad. They're not something that I gravitate towards. And if I want an ISO-y super type of fragrance, I prefer Moleculo one to the Not a Perfume. Each to their own. Some people prefer it the other way around. That's just my preference, is the Moleculo one. I think that smells better on my skin. And then the rest, all of these boxes here, so there's 1, 2 and 3. This is the So Nude gift box. I just loved it because it was a leather feel, so I didn't want to throw it out, but this is now chock full of samples as well. So yeah, samples galore. I've got 3 boxes of samples here and here as well, so they are obviously going to be staying. But at the very least I can tidy it up a little bit. So I think that's pretty much it. And then I also have Parfums de Nicolai coffret, which is in fact, the Fig Tea is meant to live in here. And, so this was a coffret which I talked about on one of my Instagram IGTV things. So in here you've got Cap Neroli, Fig Tea and Rose Pivoine. I might end up selling or gifting the Rose Pivoine. It's just not for me, but the other 2 I quite like. So there you go. In here is where I keep all the little subscription vials that I get. I am subscribed to Initio, which does some really great niche perfumes. I've never been a member of Scentbird or anything like that. I don't have any interest in getting decants of designer perfumes that I can easily go and smell in the store, but I am interested in getting decent sized decants of niche perfumes that you can't readily get in Australia, and so Initio sort of solves that problem for me for the time being. This is not my perfume. This is a big bottle of Figuier Agrumes, and I am returning that to its rightful owner with some samples also stuffed inside. And then we have some Penhaligon's travel size samples here, which are great. I was gifted those recently, and a couple of other little decants and stuff which I need to figure out what to do with. So really, I mean, that's probably way more than you needed to know about all of this stuff. That is the perfume cabinet. I do have another one over there. So do I want to tackle that today? Yes, I do. Let's do it. Let's just do it.